What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, where I get to speak to incredible gamers across the globe. Now, on today's episode, I have a man who creates the greatest thumbnails in the game. He always gasses me up, a fellow Final Fantasy Don. I'm talking a man who's bringing bare swagger around here. Do you know what? He's one of my favorite streamers when it comes to chopping up this editing. He is about this life. The one and only prolific, the Gaijin. Welcome to Too Many Games. What's good, my brother?
Yo, that was a lot, man. I appreciate that, bruv. What's going on, man?
All good. So we're going to jump straight into this because like I said, I get to talk to people all over the globe, yeah? But man's in Japan, fam. Like, I ain't never spoken to anyone in Japan. What's going on?
I know, man. Japan? Yeah, man, I uprooted my life 8 years ago from the UK. I'm originally from the UK, South London. But 8 years ago, I decided to move to Japan to start a company. And I've been here ever since. Like, someone actually told me that once I go, I'm never going to come back. And that's exactly what's just happened. So I'm here, man. I'm in Japan.
So is your company just like external to your gaming stuff, or is it all intertwined?
No, I kind of keep it separate. From,
all right, cool. Yeah, we don't need to get we don't need to get in that because you're at the mecca of gaming regardless. So we'll get into all that in a minute. Now, the reason why I came across you is our mutual friend, the dancing gamer, put me onto you. And the first content I saw was your Final Fantasy VII intermission stuff. And one thing that about me is I'm only recently started watching streamers. Like, I never used to watch that. Like, I like more kind of chopped up short form content. And what I love about what you put on YouTube is the way you chop up and edit your streams are so sick. I don't think I've seen anyone be able to convey their streams as good as you. Like, it's super dope. Like, what made you even think of, rather than just dashing everything up there, just keeping it pacey and fun?
Well, the thing is, I enjoy the process of editing, and with my company, I also like create documentaries as well. Like, I document dance events because I run like an international dance competition. But with game, and I try to capture my basic what do you call it?
Your personality?
My personality, my reactions, and I try to make like the story. Oh, how do I explain that?
Fam, you literally do that. You literally, the way you chop it up is conveying the story in a way where, like, you're removing any boring bits. You're always keeping me on. And I get it, you saying that you're from a dance background, because that's what it is. It's just like, what's the hype? It's got your little breakdown, and then you're just in people's face. Like,
that's what you gotta do, basically, man. Like, you gotta look at it with like an analytical eye. Like, think of it like, how would people want to watch the content? And I try to create like a really easy digestible video that people can actually be it's hard to find the words, bro.
No, what you're saying, it makes sense. I completely gauge you, because that's what your content does. It really it gives you you're basically giving us a breakdown of someone telling, like when a man them come and tell you a story, and then you're like, what happened? And rather than white man telling you 10 minutes of something, you just break it down, fact. And that's what your content does.
It's all about pacing, innit? And if the pacing ain't right, then I'll be like going back today and I'll be like, let me take out that chunk because that doesn't flow correctly. And I watch a lot of movies, and I always watch like how people chop scenes together, and I kind of implement it into what I do. So that's why there's like a lot of zooms in on my face on my reactions as well, just to keep the people interested in what they're seeing, because I don't want anyone to drift away and lose interest in what they're watching. So you just gotta make sure the pacing's right, and keep the viewer happy and interested.
Dope, really love it. Like, even now too, I was watching your Ragnarok reaction, and I'm a God of War fan. I'm a PlayStation guy. Like, I was already gassed for it. But you had me even more gassed, fam. I'm not even gonna lie. After I come off your video, I was even more excited, and I was like, no, I need it. And one of the things that is super important, like my background,
Mhm.
I used to be a dancehall artist before I even got into this
Okay.
game. I was a dancehall artist for years.
Yeah.
And I was a TV presenter over here. I presented on like Kiss and 4 Music and stuff. And before I ever realized that I was gonna do this gaming thing full time.
Mm.
And one of the things that for me that was always important was making black faces be seen in gaming.
I
And
hear
when I
that.
watched you, like I just feel like you're one of the man them. Like your videos make me feel like I know you. So even when I'm talking to you
Yeah.
now, this is the first conversation we've ever had. I
Uh,
just feel like I know you. I just feel like you're one of the man them, and you convey that really well with your personality in your videos. Is that something that you've always consciously done, or is that just how you flow?
you know what? The way I approached it was like, I don't want to be just one of those like content creators that have not a facade, but just have are not them real, not their real self on stream.
Yeah.
So I try to be as real as possible. Like I don't want to be like 3 or 4 years down the line and people will be like, yeah, he's not the same as he used to be. Obviously people change and like get better and progress, but at the same time I still want to be myself and be who I am when I'm streaming or creating YouTube content. And that's what I really wanted to do from the beginning. Just be real, be true to yourself. And that's what I've been doing throughout this whole like past year since I started gaming and streaming online.
I love it, man. I
Yeah,
fully
man.
love it. Let's get some gas up because we are both Final Fantasy 7 fans. Like
Come on now.
we're fans from OG. You get me?
Boop, boop.
We got that seasoning on us. We've been around for a little time. You get me? Black don't crack, so you won't
Mundo.
be able to tell. How did it feel for you the first time playing that remake? Like going back, like thinking of Cloud and Aerith and Barrett being triangles and rectangles all pushed together and stuff like that, to first playing that remake. Like, how did that make you feel?
Listen, they captured the characters to a T. I'm telling you, like the way I would visualize them as real people, they done that. Like they literally done that. And I actually played the game off stream the first time I played it, and I ain't gonna lie, like most of the scenes like brought a tear to my eye. You know, when you just feel it boiling up inside. Like that's what it gave me. And yeah, man, like I love what they've done with it. I love what they've done with it, man. For real, for real.
It, fam, it's so incredible, and it's mad because I feel like they've made Final Fantasy 7 look even better than I could imagine. Because if you think, we played Final Fantasy 7 back in the days, one of the most incredible JRPGs ever made, and then Advent Children came out and we were like, oh my god, look how sick Cloud looked and all of the motorbikes and stuff like that. And now we're playing Final Fantasy 7 Intergrade on a PS5 and it looks better than flipping Advent Children. Like, how do we live in a world that happened?
Listen, when Advent Children first dropped, I think when was it, like 2006 or 7?
Yeah, so it's a hot minute ago.
Yeah, I was going past the store. I think this was before Computer Exchange was Computer Exchange, but they were playing in the shop. I was like, no, don't tell me they're remaking the game. And I was like, listen, I can't wait. I've been waiting for so many years for this game to come, and it's finally here. But yeah, like this is like my #1 game of all time. It's the story is so captivating, and like Barrett is my guy. He's like the first black protagonist that I played with that had like a positive effect on me, because the dude he's a big guy built like what's that guy's name? Mr. T.
Yeah.
A big guy built like Mr. T that's actually trying to save the world, trying to save the planet. And that resonated with me, man. And
it's mad, innit? Because
it's crazy.
It's so dope because so many people who never played Final Fantasy OG and the first time they're playing it is the remake, and the amount of people that was surprised that, because Barrett, he's basically, you know, Japanese people, when you're black, you're Mr. T in it. So back in the days, that's what they used to just make everyone Mr. T. Flipping,
it's true.
Balrog, everyone was just Mr. T. And but then like him and his personality, like his love for his daughter and him wanting to save the planet, and like he rides, like he rides for the team. Like he will take out anyone. You say something about teeth, well, he'll lick out your teeth like like proper thing. But let's talk about the combat, because I'm a man who I still love turn-based combat. I'll still sit there and play turn-based. I like turn-based when I'm just chilling down. It's relaxing and stuff like that. But I think Final Fantasy VII Remake has the best combat that Square has ever done, and I think it's the best combat in any JRPG ever. Period.
I totally agree with you, bro. Totally agree with you. Like, they've done a really, really good job on that game. With me, when I'm playing the game, I actually give myself challenges just to make it a slight more challenging. Like, I would actually avoid using any material other than Cure on the hardest mode. That's it. I have my HP up and my MP up, but at the same time, like, I need that challenge, and it feels more real if I'm actually playing it on that level. You know what I'm saying? But listen, they've done a fantastic job, and they improved upon it with Yuffie's one, the intermission one as well. But I'm definitely excited for a part 2. I don't know when they're gonna release it. Hopefully sooner than later. But I don't want to be waiting until I'm like 50 years old.
Yeah, well,
fam, the whole game's complete.
Fam, we might hit 60 by the time the whole 10 episodes drops for this game. But let's take it back a bit. Before you moved over to Japan, like little Gaijin, when you was a little you, what really got you into gaming?
It was actually my uncle. He actually came to my house with I think it was an Atari Pong. Like, this was I'm old, bro. This was back in the day, though,
fam.
Bro. Yeah, he brought the Atari with the Pong, and I was playing the Pong, and then my next door neighbor was like, you know what? We actually have a Nintendo. And I was like, what's a Nintendo? And it's like, yeah, we got a Nintendo, and we don't need it anymore because we don't play games. And it's like, okay, we'll have it. So they gave me the Nintendo, and from then I played Mario, and then from Mario I moved on to Super Nintendo. What do you call it? Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. And then PlayStation hit, and then from when PlayStation 1 hit, that demo 1, I don't know if you remember demo 1 with the big dinosaur, dum 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 dum. But from then, like, I've been a PlayStation guy through and through. But the journey's been a good one, man.
It's dope, man. I love talking gaming with you, my G. So, big PlayStation 5 is out. You get me? Yes. What are you really excited about, like, for this new generation? Because it's not the next gen now, we're in it, the new gen. What are you really excited? What do you want to see? What is it that's exciting you as an adult gamer and a content creator?
For me, I want to see more challenging story-based games. When I say challenging, I mean like concepts and ideas that like are more thought-provoking. I want to see those type of games. Really, that's what I want to see more. And obviously, I'm looking forward to God of War. But
so if we're talking about thought-provoking, how did you feel about The Last of Us Part 2?
All right, I know. Like, listen, there's a lot of controversy behind that game, but I actually really enjoyed it. Obviously, I hate what happened to you know who. I don't want to spoil it for those that haven't played it, but I really enjoyed that game. Like, there was no problem with the gameplay mechanics. Like, it was top tier. This is like one of the best games out, like, right now. But I think people had a problem with the pacing with the game. But other than that, like, the game was beautiful. I loved it. Totally.
Do you know what? I rate Naughty Dog so hard, and I rate them as a studio for making a game and telling the story they wanted to make. Because a lot of the times what happens in video games, because we play as these characters, we feel like we're them, and we're not them. Like, you are not that character, even though playing them makes you feel that is. And Naughty Dog were like, we don't care if this isn't the story you want to know. This is the story we are going to tell. And you know what? Like, no spoilers, because Last of Us Part 2 is a pretty recent game, but there's a point where something happens to a really important character, and then you end up having to play as a different character. And you see that whole time I played as that different character. Do you know how vexed I was? Fam, do you know how icky I felt? I was raging, like I don't want to do this. But I kept on going. And then do you know what happened? The character started busting jokes and making me laugh. And I'm like, don't make me laugh. Like, getting vexed. And by the end of that journey, that game created more emotions in me than any other game has. Now, let me explain that. Final Fantasy VII is the most important game to me, and Legend of Zelda, two most important franchises to me. So the feelings they give me, no other game can give me those feelings. But the feelings they give me is joy and pleasure and excitement. But The Last of Us gave me all different type of feelings, like upset, feeling icky, feeling emotional, like all of these feelings that I didn't even know I could feel in a video game. And I feel like even if people don't rate what happened or don't like how the story, I think it was sick. I feel like it's probably one of the sickest video game arts that has ever been produced.
Facts. Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, I was raging throughout the game. Obviously, you know, when the transition happens, when you change to another character that shall not be named. But listen, I actually wanted to turn off the game, but obviously I don't want to, I need to get through the story, innit? But yeah, like you just said, there's like ups and downs throughout that game. Obviously, I love the journey of Ellie. Obviously, it's like a story of vengeance. And at the same time, there's a lot of decisions that are made in the game that just make me rage. Like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just clap that person in the head? Like, trust me. Like, but they done a really good job in storytelling, and that's what I loved. Obviously, there's certain things that I would love to be changed, but at the same time, it's their story. It's not my story. So I really appreciate them for what they've done. I don't know if they're going to make any DLCs. Like, I was hoping they would make a DLC with like Joe and his brother back in the day when like the outbreak first started. Imagine they made that though.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would love to see if they was to like bring the franchise back. Hopefully they do, but only time will tell. Time will tell.
100%. All right, so like we said at the beginning, you live in Japan. Obviously, Japan is like obviously the mecca when it comes to gaming. Nintendo's from Japan, PlayStation's from Japan, so many companies. How is living out there gaming wise for you? Obviously, COVID has made things a bit weird, but I know the arcade scene is still huge over there, and a lot of people are more playing games on their phones than consoles. But how does it feel like being there when it comes to the whole gaming wise?
So when I first came to Japan, for the first 2 years, I actually stopped playing games. Like, I literally had no time, didn't have the funds. And this was the first time I was actually introduced to like online gaming. Like, I used to think, why would someone sit there and watch someone play a game? But it wasn't until my sister sent me some reactions of people playing horror games, and I'm like, raw, this person actually kind of reacts like me. And after a few years, I got a PlayStation 4. But during COVID, I've had a lot more time to actually game. In regards to going out and about to other prefectures, other cities, it's a no-no at the moment because there's so many restrictions in place. But yeah, being here gaming, like, it's fun. It's fun. I kind of lost the question though. What was the question again?
No, it's just basically you on the right path, my G. Just basically how it feels like being in that kind of gaming space. But you said enough. It's cool. Like I said, people, his content is so entertaining. Like, I honestly say no one chops up their streams better than he does. Like, you have to go and check it out. Check out the Final Fantasy. Go and check out his recent one with Resident Evil Village and stuff like that. And for anyone who don't know who you are, and this is the first time they're coming on to you, where can they find you?
So yeah, I'm prolific. You can find me on twitch.tv twitch.tv/prolific the Gaijin. You can find me on Instagram, Prolific the Gaijin. You can find me on Twitter, Prolific the Gaijin. Also on YouTube at Prolific the Gaijin. But yeah, that's me, man. I'm about, man. Feel free to message me. Let's talk. I'm open to talk, man.
I love that. Yeah. I love that, my G. So I've been Mr. Midas. He's been Prolific the Gaijin. Check out all of his content, subscribe, show him love, comments, the whole shebang, and we out of here.
Loving like people.
Peace.